it's endless what you have to deal with.
It is. It's a daily battle. You know, the work that I'm in, I just do strictly emergency and critical care. I see all the bad stuff. I don't see the dogs coming in for vaccines. I don't see the puppies. I don't see, you know, I don't do the spays and neuters. I see the critical stuff. And over time, it wears down on you. I mean, you know, I do, unfortunately, a lot of humane euthanasias in my line of work. And, you know, I have to look at it as humane euthanasia as a kindness. I mean, we're letting these animals go that are suffering. But nevertheless, when you go home, it's not uncommon for me sometimes to do, you know, 4 or 5 in a shift, a 12-hour shift. You go home and you start thinking about, you know, well, is there anything additional I could have done?
Across weeks and months and it's years, it starts to stack up. Has this gotten to you over the years?
It has. It has. It's been. I love veterinary medicine. I love my profession. I would do anything for it, but it definitely does become stressful at times, and it does take a toll.
Yeah. Have you gotten depressed? Has it gotten where you just think, I just can't do this anymore?
I have. I've lost several colleagues to suicide. We have, unfortunately, in veterinary medicine, we have a very high suicide rate. We have a lot of doctors that graduate school and start doing it, and they don't want to do it anymore. After about a year of practice, they get out and they do other things. I've lost personal friends to suicide. I myself am a survivor. Back in 2016, I did attempt to take my life. If I can reach out to anybody and if I can let them know there is help out there, there are people that you can talk to, there are colleagues that you can talk to. You know, in the veterinary profession, it not only affects doctors, it affects the veterinary technicians or the veterinary nurses. You know, and it's all across the board. And if you can reach out and know that there's somebody that you can always talk to, somebody that you can reach out to, you know, just talking with a colleague helps. You know, knowing that they're in the same situation, they're having the same feelings, it definitely helps.
See, I think as pet owners, we sometimes don't think about that because we come in, we're so focused on our pet, we don't think about how this affects the caregivers, and that this is the 30th case they're dealing with that day and the 14th hour, and you know how it stacks up on all of you. What can people do that is most important when they adopt a pet so that you guys don't have to do the hard things? I mean, is it to socialize the dog? Is it to get training? If they can't afford the training, what's the most important thing people need to know?
I mean, they need to think about what they're going to do ahead of time. They need to budget it. They have to be emotionally and mentally prepared for the pet, because they are emotional vitamins and they add a lot, but you've got to think it out, because they can live to be, what, 17, 18 now?
Yeah.
But you should get insurance. I push that now, because people come in, the human-animal bond is so short, and they go, I love my dog, you know, he's like my family, and it's a $5,000 bill, and I have no insurance.
Yeah.
You know, people need to understand that it's a responsibility to own a pet.
And what's it cost to own a pet throughout its life? Is there an estimate?
Average is around 15 to 20,000 without any problems.
People should get insurance 100% for
You know,
sure.
only
Absolutely.
3% of all pets are insured.
Really?
Yes, it's that low. And then we have the guilt. You know, there's shame and guilt when they're like, well, what do I do? My daughter's here, I can't put the dog down. And we're like, we have corporations now have bought practices, right? And so now it's pressure to produce 15-minute exams. It's business.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.